Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not editing shit.
One
Apparently,
take
I'm
every
the
time.
asshole.
Speaking of not editing shit, welcome back to the Lost Memory Card Podcast Anime Talk. I'm your host, Brice, and I am joined with a plethora of people.
Hey, it's us.
You might hear some old familiar voices. And I am sick, so I'm going to sound a little bit different. Maybe like
That's
Morgan
what you
Freeman.
tell all the boys.
Kind of like Morgan Freeman.
More sexy.
More sexy. And that was Steve. He's a Texas person.
Yellow.
We
He's
got
the
him all
other
the way from
Texas person.
Texas.
I play video games with him. And then joined with me is Brice 2.
That's you.
Okay,
No,
that's me.
you're Brice 4. Brice
Oh.
2 is
Brice 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that person. And then Brice 3.
Brice 3,
Well,
speak up.
Welcome,
Will the
Brice
real
3.
Brice 3s please
Which-
stand up?
And I'm
Which one is Bryce 3? I've lost track, honestly.
And I'm Brice 4. I'm also
I'm Brice 1.
I truly lost count.
And
Y'all are hurting me now already.
we're gonna add a Brice. We're
Worst
gonna add a Brice
multiverse
5
we've
and
ever
6
done.
today. Actually, no. The
Yeah, no.
original Brice 2 was. It was the original Brice 2. That was Kyle.
Yeah,
Or-
Slurpee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slurpee. By the way, Slurpee's here.
Hello.
That boy,
He's gonna talk anime with us today.
he's come to tell B just why he's
Whether
wrong.
he likes it or
I'm
not.
literally here because
Someone needs to tell B.
Brice 2.1 or whatever Redbeard's name is on here now
Oh, yeah,
said
I'm
he
Brice
had
1.
some crazy hot takes about anime, and I just kind of sat in the chat in the call until they started the podcast
He
to
was
trump
right.
him.
He wants those hot takes.
Oh yeah,
Give him
we
the
like
hot
the hot
takes.
takes.
I have controversial hot takes every episode, so
Send me
just
the
hang around
controversy.
and I don't think of them. They just come out, and
That's
I'm
what she
still
said.
walking
I'm sure they
controversy.
will.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Get out the sheets, fight him in the streets.
And
Yeah.
it's not gonna stick, dude.
It
patent
is.
pending.
I'm gonna make it work.
It's not gonna stick,
I'm
bro.
gonna make it work.
As always, we got Squabble Heads in the background. Make sure you check them out on Spotify.
That's the gang.
The old Squabble Heads.
Squaw.
And follow the story
And
of the
YouTube.
bathroom spider that's going on Twitter right now. They're dealing with a lot right now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are dealing with a lot.
I still say
yeah.
he should have slept with the spider's dad, but that's a different story for a different time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that might be tomorrow.
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Be a different episode, but yeah. So I think today we're going to talk about whatever Redbeard wants, whatever Greg wants.
Oh, whatever I want.
Actually, we're just going to have Greg start it off. So let's start it off with a hot take today. What do you
Oh,
got for us,
man.
Greg?
A hot take, something controversial. I can go with that Sakura is way more powerful than most of the Naruto verse.
Oh,
I mean, that's just fact.
I think
I
it
don't
is.
think that's a hot take. I think that's just fact.
I mean,
Honestly-
a lot of people give her mad shit, saying that she's useless and isn't worth a
Okay,
damn.
so-
But
I mean,
As you-
she's mid, but
as you
she's still
said
better
that,
than half the
I
cast.
googled Sakura Haruno, and the first search is who did Sakura lose her V card to?
Oh no!
What are you searching?
It was just Sakura. Just type in Sakura Haruno.
No. Clear
sure.
your history and then search it.
it was
Delete
Zoro.
them cookies.
I just
Yeah, that's exactly
I
what you
got
need.
some
money
my
on Eno.
cookies,
Sounds like you were
I got
caught in
money on
4K.
Eno.
bro.
All right, another
no
one.
way.
Sailor
Anyways,
Moon
but
can beat Goku.
Hold on, hold on. I'm not done with Sakura.
I half agree with that.
I want everyone to agree that Sakura is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Oh
Dude,
yeah,
she's-
She
dude.
is a powerhouse, and the hate that Sakura gets is literally just a meme. Like she's useless and all this stuff. Yeah, she's useless in normal Naruto.
So then you
Yeah,
go
she's
back there.
useless in the first 220 episodes, but she gets
Right.
better. She's
right,
just
she
a
gets-
late
she gets-
bloomer.
yeah, she was a late bloomer. You know,
That all
Literally.
started when she hopped up there and said, "Look, I could be part of the team too." And it's like, bro, we literally just got god powers. Like you can punch rocks hard. Chill.
I mean,
Well,
she
it-
technically gets god powers
She
too.
didn't
though.
become good until she walked up to Mommy Milker Sonate and it was like, "Hey, teach me."
Well, I mean,
That's
She
what I'm
was
saying. Like,
But before that, she could completely see through Genjutsu. Like, you cannot use Genjutsu on her starting, like, halfway through Naruto.
Yeah, that's like Shikamaru level.
Yeah, she
Oh,
was
And
like,
Oh,
her,
yeah.
her and
It wa-
Shikamaru were what, the only ones that even released themselves from it, but he decided
Yeah,
just to take a nap.
yeah.
out of the like 9
From
Genin.
original, yeah,
Yeah.
when they were getting ready to, that.
Yeah, and then he
And
just
then-
pretended to still be under it because he didn't feel like doing nothing.
And then like her major fight in Baruto, spoilers, it was really freaking cool. Like it was badass. I was like, whoa.
Well, I
That was-
mean, she has that seal on her head. I mean, she can
Well, she's a mom
literally
now. She's
she
got
can
that mom
literally
strength.
come back from death. Like, was it 100 times or 1,000 times? I forget how
don't
many.
know.
it is.
There's
Her-
100
hers is-
healing jutsu thing.
Hers
but
is
the
a thousands. She surpassed Tsunade. Tsunade is 100. Sakura is 1,000.
But you want to know what makes Sakura even
Oh.
more impressive? The
What's
fact that she did not come from a line of shinobi. She is a first generation shinobi. No
Oh,
one
that is
no one
true.
else in her clan was ever a shinobi before her.
And she was basically her generation Sonic, so
What was her dad's name? Was
That's-
Kizashi. He
That's
was a
actually interesting.
shinobi,
Yeah. So I mean, if you
and
look
he
at
was
it
only
from
a
that,
genin. Oh, okay.
compare her to, Naruto and Sasuke, she's gonna look like shit. But would you
I mean-
consider the fact that she was just a normal ass girl from a normal ass family that decided to jump in with fire breathing guys and demon children and guys that have eyes that can see 20 million miles away? Like, bitch holds her own for some of the stuff she had to deal with. So I don't know, Lisa. I mean, I agree. Beginning Naruto, like, she seems useless, but she serves her purpose the entire show.
I still,
It-
I still liked her, except for the stupid little.
there were some things.
She
Yeah.
was definitely a filler
inside
character, a
voice.
filler character until they were like, "Hey, we actually have to do a story arc for her."
Yeah.
Right?
I could go with that. Yeah.
a lot
We
of like
kinda,
the-
yeah.
Because she
There was-
really, I don't think she like the whole picture of her with Naruto and Sasuke really didn't come full circle until she hopped up on the dirt with Naruto and Sasuke at the Ten Tails fight. That is the only time I say she came full circle for Team 7.
Well, I mean, when she beat Sasori too, I mean, of course she didn't do it by herself, and she would have definitely died if Granny Chiyo wasn't there.
I would argue she didn't beat him at all. She had to be controlled as a puppet for that to happen.
Well, I mean, like, but she had to use her strength.
saying
Her
that's-
her chakra and strength had to defeat.
Yeah, but I'm giving that like an 80-20 though. I mean, yeah, like she had to channel her chakra through her fist, but Granny literally manipulated her body to get right there to punch him.
Yeah.
Neji
And
couldn't have done it.
it will not. Let's not forget, like
I
Granny.
mean, Neji can't beat a tree, but
Granny was a badass. Like she was
Yeah.
from like in the previous war, like she was revered.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
the second
that's
Ninja
true.
War had the most powerful shinobi of all time, in my opinion.
And honestly, Sasori is one of those villains that doesn't make sense to me, but we'll cover that later.
I mean, yeah.
He
She
kind of
did
like
save
comes out of
Kankuro, though,
nowhere.
so that's pretty cool.
No,
Kankuro's my
Kankuro
boy,
ended up
dude.
coming around. Yeah, no, he made sense.
Honestly,
like,
Chiyo and
whole-
Sakura working together is like two of the most powerful female characters in Naruto working together.
Yeah, imagine like one of the at least
Um,
the top 10 strongest punches in the universe, and you have a master tactician puppet user controlling
I
you.
mean, true.
Yeah,
but,
she's like, "Get me in there, I'll knock this dude out."
Right.
I mean,
Give me
true.
in
Like,
there.
it's just, I don't know. That one always kind of felt out of place to me. Like,
Yeah.
Sakura
that's why
she's
she's
made-
totally had her own moment in that, but we kind of like I said, I give 80% of that victory to Granny.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I wouldn't go 80, but I agree with you.
The
For the
biggest
most
split
part.
I'd be willing to do is 50-50. Because neither one of them could have did it without the other. Like I said,
Right.
if Sakura wasn't there, Chiyo wouldn't, like, she couldn't have used Kankuro to do that. Like,
Right.
she couldn't have used Choji or Shikamaru. Like,
I would argue Choji. His expansion jutsu giving you a big ass fucking haymaker,
Maybe.
close
It just-
quarters.
Just
Yeah,
depends on
at that point in the story, Choji
Just
probably
Like I
still
said,
is
you're getting
physically
like,
stronger.
it then turns it into a situational battle on that could have been a solidified moment for her to propel her forward to be something more in Shippuden. Like she had a lot of moments from the beginning that just sold her short. Like she was a secondary thought for a very long time.
I don't know. I got hype on her whenever her and Ino had their fight in the tuning exams. That gave me a respect for her.
cool. That was
That was
cool.
honestly one of my favorite fights in the tuning exams.
Speaking of
was.
tuning exams,
Wasn't too
I
bad.
still think Lee versus Gara was probably hands down the best one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of the most hype ones. Hype moments.
Lee has two
When he
of the
dropped
greatest
his-
fights
Yeah,
in the show.
Yep.
yeah, I can agree with that.
Please wait
Kimi
one
Mura
moment
fight.
while I take my medicine.
Yes,
Yeah.
dude.
He was a powerhouse in the OG. I wish he
Dude,
would have got
he-
a lot more time in Shippuden.
I mean,
There's a
like,
reason he didn't.
yeah.
There's too many characters. I'm the first one to say like there was very little character development out of
Right.
like X amount of people.
There's
But when you have 40, 50 backstory characters,
Well, a lot of the characters in Shippuden were supposed to die off in the original Naruto, but they adapted it and changed the story because they wanted it to sell good in the West, and you can't really show death in what gets marketed as a kid's cartoon. That's why you don't see as much of Lee and his team, because they were supposed to die during the Konoha Crush arc. Like he was
I
supposed to
mean,
die
what?
against Kimimaru.
really?
Neji died, so
Huh.
Yeah, Neji came full circle. They didn't take care of that one.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't think we needed Neji teaching Naruto's daughter how to use the Byakugan like to the full extent that
Nah, he
could
not
use
have had it.
No,
Neji was my
absolutely.
favorite character.
Absolutely, you needed
the
Neji to
longest
do
time.
that. Neji was like the best at using it.
Well, can we backtrack and maybe Neji
Hinata
was
surpassed him.
a product of his family because he was trained from the day he was born, unlike a lot of people like Greg just mentioned of Sakura that were the first in their family and
Neji
had no
wasn't.
previous.
Neji wasn't trained to Neji was a prodigy. He wasn't trained
On
to use
top of
half.
that,
He wasn't trained to use half the techniques he did. He saw people doing them and then practiced them himself. He taught himself rotation.
but with him being in
the
the
8
secondary
trigrams.
family, their main focus wasn't that to train and always protect the head family.
yeah,
so they were
the
trained
second-
from
the
a young
secondary
age for
fam-
basics, though.
Yeah, but a lot of the
secondary family was
techniques.
to protect the first.
But a lot of
So
the
I said, so they were
techniques
a
that
lot
he.
more combat heavy. Although, like you said, Hinata was like
Well,
the
tech-
prodigy, like long awaited child, blah blah blah, to go along with Naruto to make Boruto, and that's part of that storyline
Well, the
and all
like
that. But
the branch families were sole purpose was to protect the main family, but most of the Byakugan techniques were reserved for the main family. So Neji learned a lot of stuff that he wasn't supposed to, that he never would have been taught. He would watch them
True, but
train
they
as
still-
protection and then learn. Like he's
yeah.
one of the only branch family members that can do half of the shit that he did.
no, he was 100% a prodigy, 100%. But they still have Byakugan, which is the second most broken eye in all of the show.
He used rotation in the tuning exams against Naruto, didn't he?
Right, and I will
Yeah.
100%
he
agree.
used
Like
eight
he
bombs.
should not. He probably
So-
shouldn't have been able to do half of that
Well,
at that age. I will
isn't-
succeed on that.
Isn't
point.
isn't when he did that? Didn't the head of the family like look
Like,
shocked?
crapped his pants.
He was
yeah,
pissed.
Yeah.
crapped his pants.
He's like, who the hell taught this boy that
Right,
technique?
Yeah. So yeah,
Well, look,
Neji.
there
I
is
don't think
a
Neji should have died.
Neji was right
I'm gonna
though.
say it. Neji shouldn't have died.
there
Neji was
is
right
a
about fate.
hidden trait to the Byakugan where they can technically mimic moves that are not genjutsu or ninjutsu, but more taijutsu related. So the rotation, eight palms rotation or 64 palms rotation can be mimicked by the Byakugan too, because it is very much more taijutsu than it is anything else.
So, I think. Wait. So you're saying the Byakugan can copy taijutsu? Is that what you're trying to
to
say?
a small degree,
Why-
from what I
To a small degree, why do you think Lee was never able to fully beat Neji in a one-on-one?
I
Because
figured that was he couldn't get through rotation.
That's what I was
Well,
thinking too.
Because he
that's
wasn't
actually
truly a
not
master
true
of his game.
because in the manga, when they would
Okay,
spar in the
okay.
woods,
Mm-hmm.
he would actually get past rotation when he took his weights off. We never got to see him taking weights off against Neji.
Right. And I think
So
He probably didn't.
so. Yeah. So another thing was I believe in like when Neji was like talking to himself about Lee, he was worried. Wasn't because Lee was his rival, so he was worried that Lee was surpassing him. That's why
oh
he worked
yeah.
harder.
Oh yeah, no, with the 8 inner gates, if he opened the 6th one against Neji and dropped the weights, oh, he'd get past rotation. Hands
Right.
down.
That's what I was thinking. Too. I'm pretty sure, like I'm confident in saying that Lee would have annihilated Neji in original Naruto. OG
I don't know,
Naruto.
because he could still just shut off his chakra, because it's not that Lee doesn't have chakra, he just doesn't have control over it.
Right.
So
That's
he could
true.
still shut down all of his chakra, and then he wouldn't be able to use his speed amps. And
Yeah,
'Cause
his
I mean-
gates would be
That's
open,
if
but
he
they'd
could
have
land
enough.
them, though.
It's
That's
if he can if Lee started out super fast, but there is Byakugan, so
I would say
a
anything
nice
before,
what if fight. Wow.
yeah, anything
that'd be
before
cool.
the tuning exams, I'm gonna give to Neji, and then tuning exams on is just situational. Who can
Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
do the thing first?
Right.
You know,
Okay.
if Lee does his thing that he likes to, because he likes to enjoy battle with his buddies, like when it's a sparring match, and he likes to do like Guy does and set stipulations upon himself. So I could see in a realistic sparring match between those two in character, Neji saying, "I'm not holding back, I'm gonna whip your ass," and Lee saying, if you're going full go, I'll keep both of my weights on and restrict myself to one gate. And if I can't do that, then I have to do 1,500 sit-ups in 37 minutes, or something stupid.
Wasn't he also restricted to one gate just so he wouldn't wreck himself before he ever even did anything in life?
Well,
but-
there did get to a point where his body was accustomed to using the 6th
100%.
and the gates of opening, except for the 8th. I mean, Guy even was talking about this in the Ten Tails fight to Kakashi about how there was so much strain on the body when you're using the inner gates that as you use it, your body does grow accustomed to the inner gates. So I guarantee you there got to a point where Lee and Guy were probably walking around with like the 3rd inner gate opened, and they
Yeah.
they were just so accustomed to it. That's what they were just doing. They just had it open. They were just, eh.
I agree with that, because to me, I always related the 8 gates to like Kaioken from Dragon Ball Z. You
Yeah.
can use it, you should
Same.
only use it for a limited time, and you can amp it exponentially, but the more you amp it, the more repercussions you're gonna have.
I mean,
Right,
even Goku said the same thing in Dragon Ball Z. I don't mean to
Yeah.
cut you off, Bryce. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Goku even says if he doesn't focus while using Kaioken, he can destroy his entire body.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
and-
what I
and he
was getting ready to
does.
say. Yeah. I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure King Kai said something about that to Tien and Yamcha, about him using
Yeah.
about him using the Kaioken.
Why didn't he teach them Kaioken?
That was my question. Could they just not handle it? Like, bro, could you imagine them boys with the Kaioken against Cell? Like,
I mean, they still would have got the shit slapped out
Well,
of
they
them, but it would have
would've,
been cool.
yeah, it would have been cool. He wouldn't have got bodied by Dr.
I
Giro so
think-
easily, maybe.
I don't know. Tien might have
not
actually been
really.
able to kill second form, so whenever he was
Maybe.
using Kinko Ho on him.
Oh, you mean turning triangles into squares?
Hey, you can do whatever you want if you're an alien with 3 eyes.
Two triangles can make a square though. Let's not
yeah,
forget.
dude.
If the shape fits in the hole.
Yeah.
It's a circle.
Yep.
There's your
Ooh.
DBZ abridged.
Kid,
Bryce.
go fuck yourself.
That's more like it.
Yeah. That was that was a good fight. Wow. That
Staying
one,
on-
that took a left turn. Wow.
Yeah.
We was talking about Sakura.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
Anywho.
Back to the crazy strong females thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
how
yeah.
much respect does Android 18 get? Like,
Dude, okay, so
In the
before
TOP,
anyone-
she's a soccer mom who just wants to
Mm.
whip ass to protect her family.
She do.
Okay.
Nothing is more realistic in Dragon Ball Super than Android 18 fighting in the Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
You tell me a
No.
mom would not go out there and do that shit.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
I loved it when she held Hercule hostage in the ring and said, "So that prize money, let's have a
Yeah,
little
oh,
chat."
I know.
That is her best moment.
And that was all to
Like-
take care of her and hers. And like that is a mom.
He wasn't even
move.
that worried about Krillin. She said, "So me and my daughter, we need to be set for life." See,
Right.
See, that's a different take compared to DBZ or Bridge.
Yeah. We're gonna this is
Get
We're
on
gonna
the bed.
we're not gonna include DBZ abridged, although
That's
great
where-
it is. As great as it
The
is.
reason she wasn't worried about Krillin is because he's dead all the time. So
Yeah,
why?
Right. He's dead all the time.
I
He'll
mean,
come
why?
back eventually.
She's literally a
vicariously
single
through his
mom.
friends. So
King
one of his
Kyle
friends will
feed
bring him
him.
back. She has nothing to worry
Krillin
about.
became a cop. He was.
I mean,
He
if you
became a
know-
cop, strongest cop in the
did.
world.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if
Second
you
best.
notice, Yamcha kind of like faded out of the picture after the soul fight.
About
Like,
He
Yeah.
should
a
have
lot of
faded
this-
out before
a
that.
lot of the scenes where you see the entire like everyone standing together, Yamcha's barely in there, and you're like, huh.
After he got choked out by an old man, he didn't deserve to be in the show anymore.
Yeah, I feel like Yamcha should have got more love.
I think all of
Yes.
the humans should have got more
Well,
love.
A lot of them. Remember how much love Yamcha got all of Dragon Ball, though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that
What,
was
with
my
a hole
that
in
was
the chest.
that
He
was
was
my
like-
counter argument to myself.
Yeah.
I
Dragon Ball,
mean,
because he
Wolfang
was-
Fist was a badass move for the
Right.
first 3 seasons. That
Whipped
might
the shit out of Goku a couple times.
right.
Man,
Because Yamcha after what was it? Yamcha trained under Master Roshi as well, right?
Yep.
yes.
Okay. Taught him the
Yeah,
command.
he
Came back
yeah.
later after Tien, I believe, whooped his ass
right.
and trained under him while Goku went and trained under Korin.
right.
No, well, he
No,
trained
no,
with
no.
Kami.
Greg
I was
fact
gonna say
check.
trained with Kami, yeah.
Oh,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry,
it was.
yeah.
No, I think it was Korin because it was
'Cause he
the.
didn't- it was King Piccolo. He had to go train with
Yeah,
Kami for.
It was in his second tournament
Yeah, okay,
when
yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
No,
He
that
was off
uh,
training with someone at that tower.
Good old Dragon Ball. Yeah, somewhere on the tower.
See, and
Either
that-
halfway or all the way.
Yeah.
when people tell me that Dragon Ball Super is just a bunch of overpowered BS, it really makes me believe that they never watched like the 5 seasons of Dragon Ball where Goku could like barely like do damage to a boulder. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it
like
was-
there was literal character building since 1988,
Ish.
87, 86,
80,
something like that.
89.
It
I
was
wanna
somewhere
say.
like I think it was like 88,
was-
89.
Or the writing or the animation. Yeah, it was the 80s.
Yeah. Like we've been character building since the 80s. What are you talking about?
Honestly.
Yeah, go
That
back
just-
and watch the original. I don't want to watch the original because the animation looks stupid. Well, then shut up.
I like the animation more.
Yeah,
I
love
like
the
to
old
know my shit's a
animation.
cartoon. It's like I can't. Yeah.
Right.
it-
I like to know
Yeah.
my shit's a cartoon.
I like being able to see my storyboards.
yeah.
Anyways,
if it looks real, I don't want it.
Yeah.
right,
like,
right.
if I wanted to see two dudes like whipping each other's asses, I would just go to the Waffle House.
Right. Absolutely right.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I figured. Look, I tweeted out. I just started training to go to the Waffle House for the first time. I didn't get any likes on that, except for like salty or something. Like I figured, dude.
Oh,
And it was
no.
when Waffle House was like trending. I figured I would have got something, some sort of traction from that. I didn't get
No
nothing.
love.
No
No
love at
love.
all,
Also,
dude. That was a 100A plus perfect tweet.
Dragon Ball started 1986. Dragon Ball Z started 1989.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Mm.
when we were
Yeah.
born in '91, boys, like it was already at its peak of animation and air.
Right.
That's what I
in
mean.
my
Like by the
day.
time we watched Dragon Ball, it was
Reruns.
99, 2000. I think is whenever I started seeing it on Toonami.
Yeah, I think
So it was already
it came to America
See,
in like
when
98, 99.
When I first started watching Dragon Ball, it was DBZ
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay,
whoa.
okay. Won't say it again. All right,
We get it. We get it. We get it. We get it.
Don't
I
offend
was
that
seeing-
Texas dog.
I was seeing Super
My
GT,
bad.
Dragon Ball,
worries.
and
Good,
Dragon
bud.
Ball Z, all at the same time on Toonami. It would just be one episode after another.
Yeah, that's when we started watching. Like, we would see Dragon Ball, and then Dragon Ball Z would come on, and then for some reason it was just like, okay, Toonami's over, and it's like, clearly Toonami's not over.
Right. That's when
Speaking
I
of
would go outside
Tsunami's
and
not
play.
over,
Throw
another
like fake
badass
Pokeballs
girl.
and things.
Remember the Major from Ghost in the Shell?
I was
Talk
just
about
getting
it.
ready to talk about that person.
Talk about a badass girl fucking an anime.
Yes. Yeah, if you haven't if you can't tell, we are talking about awesome anime females.
I
And
was just about to diss on a male character for just a minute.
Man,
what was her name? You said from Code Geass? Was it Liloche or Liloche or something like that? Liloche?
He's
All
dead.
of those.
That's a
what?
male
Yeah,
character.
Lelouch is the
talking
MC.
Lelouch. That's what it was. Lelouch.
Yeah,
I could
Lelouch
not
is the
remember.
MC.
Is that not a female character?
No, that's a
No.
male.
Okay,
No.
I wasn't sure. I
It's
can't
like Fruits
Wow.
Basket.
Well,
They get ya.
well, I'm not gonna lie, I never watched it.
Yeah, me neither.
It's
So-
not. It gets a little confusing
Yeah.
after probably mid-season. It does get a little bit confusing because you don't know what's happening because it's too colorful. Like literally, the artistic wise of it just becomes way too colorful, and then
Yeah.
it's just like, all right, you go from just rebel army and people being rebels and fighting the army of the Empire or Republic or whatever it is, to basically Gundam is how it ended up.
Basically
And it's
Gundam.
just, I mean, that's literally what it is. They're just fighting mechs, and you're like, where did this come from?
Hey, don't diss on mechs.
Left field. is where it
Okay,
came
hang
from.
on.
Lelouch.
Gundam
Lelouch.
holds a very special heart. Don't ever think I'm dissing on Gundam or any mechs whatsoever.
You're dissing on mechs
So-
for no reason.
Speaking of Lelouch, I was looking up multiple websites, top ranked anime characters. I went through like 5 different, like top 10 most powerful or most popular, not powerful, most popular anime characters. And I usually go to my anime list for everything. Lelouch is number 1.
Man.
Like most
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah, he's a gangster.
Yeah, he's like number 1 by like 30,000 votes.
I don't know. I doubt he gives the boys the support, but since we're talking about powerful female characters in anime, I'm gonna go ahead and drop one for Griffin, and it's Rias or Rias or however you say her name from High School DxD.
Yes. I mean, I don't know. I
Yeah,
never
I don't know
watched
either.
it. I don't know what you're talking about.
you
Never
better-
watched that one.
I'm
Better
trying
be
to
careful
find.
saying shit about that anime around here. He'll show up.
You could smell it.
Yeah, you can smell it. Actually,
Actually. Yeah, Griffin is one of our friends that we play with also. So, for those
Wow.
of you wondering,
I can't believe
wasn't
you
on the
doxed
list.
him
Dude,
like
don't
that.
tell him. Just let him think. Make him comment. Helps
Brice-
the algorithm.
Bryce
Ask
will
us
like
who Griffin
the,
is.
Bryce will like this shout out. I think the I don't know her name. That's why I was looking on the anime list and I saw the one for Griffin on there. But the chick that snipes in Sword Art.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh my
I can't
God,
remember
why
her
can't I-
I
name.
forgot all about her.
Sniper girl. Like, how do you guys not know?
No,
I
No,
literally
that's a
just
whole
watched
nother
that
anime.
show. I literally just watched all of SAO
I'm
again.
trying to. Shino.
Yes.
Dude, I was
No,
like.
that's the bug guy
was
from
like, I know.
No. God.
Like, come on, guys.
Ooh,
God.
Toxic.
my personal favorite, Charmy from Black Clover.
Charmy, dude.
She's a
Charmy,
chibi the whole time until she gets
dude,
mad or someone drops food.
Charmy. If you've never watched Black Clover, please do yourself a favor and watch Black
Aw.
Clover.
I'll add
Charmy's,
it
Charmy's in my top 5.
If
by
not for the
far.
show, do it for Charmy,
Yeah,
third on the list now.
Black Clover
Yeah,
for
dude.
Charmy.
dude.
I got
Black
to
Clover's
finish
so
Fairy
good.
Tale. Speaking of
Fairy
fairy tale, you know who one of the most badass female characters is in all of anime? Is
Not Lucy.
Urza Scarlet.
Where's the Scarlet?
She is not just a badass in general, but she is one of the biggest badasses in her entire verse.
Yes.
Like,
If you would have said Lucy as either a meme or seriousness, I would have been quiet for like 30 minutes, and then you would have heard me on Greg's mic.
no, yeah, right, yeah, right.
That's
and then
funny.
and you would heard me going, stop, I'm sorry. But sticking with fairy tale, Mira Jane, she's a freaking badass too.
Mira Jane's pretty cool, pretty badass. I like Mira Jane. Not as
Yeah.
much as Scarlet though.
Yeah,
Urza.
Mira Jane is a destructive force, and Urza is just an all-around
Yeah.
bad bitch. Like when you hear someone say "bad bitch," you need to picture Urza Scarlet because she will
Yeah.
fuck some shit up.
Dude,
Like,
she's so good.
when you can
You know-
scare an entire guild of wizards just walking
Right.
into, they're like, "We're sorry, please don't get mad." Like,
Yeah. Oh man,
Yeah,
she's really cool.
she's probably my favorite female character in anime.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I just like her character, like just
I like her too, dude.
like her development as a character through like why she is the way she is and everything. Like she
her
has
affliction. Her affliction towards the arts is
Yeah.
so funny.
she has every right to be a villain, but she
well-
takes everything bad that's happened in her life and chooses to make the lives of the people around her better than the life that she was forced to live as a child. And that's a bad bitch. Like,
Okay.
I
like
think
it.
the baddest female cast is actually Black Clover. The more I think about that show,
Really? You think so?
dude,
I
think
haven't seen
about
this,
it.
I can't.
So you got Charmy,
Huh?
you got the Fate Witch that I can't remember her name. You got the one chick that is the one dude's brother who literally just lives out in the wilderness to be closer to the mana. She's like the Armstrong equivalent of Black Clover.
I'm gonna give names here. Let's see. Black.
Like I
Clover.
can't remember the names, but I was just thinking, I was like, who else is in Black Clover? And then there's the lady
Well,
that,
there's-
or the lady that's always with Asta that is part of the royal family.
Noelle.
But yeah, like she
Noelle,
is
yeah.
literally, she's super powerful but can't control magic, and like
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
You
Okay.
know-
Now the one you was talking about was Vanessa, by the way.
is that the Fate Witch?
Yes, Vanessa.
Okay.
Yep.
I can't remember the other chick's name. I think her last name's like Verillion.
Vermilion,
Yeah, she takes
the lion,
Asta-
the lion lady.
yeah, the lion lady, dude.
Mara Leona.
It's like, oh, you're the main character? Boys, get out of here. I'll hold off the entire league.
Yeah.
It's like, for My Hero equivalents, it's like the entire league of villains. And she's like, all right, let's go. 1v1. Like, or like the
Yeah.
it's like, I got you. Like, an entire squad.
Right.
Let's just go.
Oh man.
You know what other anime has some really strong female characters?
What's that?
Bleach.
Comic
Oh,
got killed.
I was gonna. Kame got killed.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that's a good-
Akame herself is
Yeah.
like on my list of have to mentions before this is over. So
Yeah.
go right ahead. You know what you're talking about, sir.
Right.
Yeah,
she's a
I
badass,
mean,
too.
like,
That's-
don't get me wrong, Akame is hands down probably the strongest character in that anime, but as Death is like in number one bitch for me.
Is
in
that the ice
anime.
girl?
Yes.
Yeah, no, she's a badass.
Yes.
She's a fucking badass too. I forgot about her.
Yeah, no. I watched this show so long ago, I forget half of it, but Akame was one of the first people that came to mind when you brought this up.
Right. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Kame
she's
is
she's a
awesome.
G for sure.
I think the one thing about that show that broke my heart was mine. Like, mine should have never died, but I get it. They literally went along with
Wow,
the
spoilers.
manga. Sorry.
Don't apologize for something that's 10 years old. It's
yeah,
alright.
right.
I know.
It's fine.
Can't watch
It'll be
that
fine.
now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's as regular as a top 5 in the episodes.
It's been
now.
spoiled. We're not watching it.
Yeah. And that was the podcast. I'm just-
And that was the podcast. You guys have a great day.
I have one
Bye.
hot take back
Cool,
to
let's hear it.
Naruto when we wrap up the episode because it's way off topic. But
Oh,
Okay.
just
throwing
drop
that
it
out
now.
there.
Screw the topics.
The best ninja to come out of the sound team was little Uzi Vert.
Wait, oh my gosh.
I got another one. Sasuke never killed anyone.
He didn't, did he?
That's why he
Yeah.
lost last week in the verses. So
Yeah.
he lost an arm. He threw a tantrum for 10 fucking years and lost an arm.
Continue on.
I mean, you got to think about it. He never
Gotta
actually
check
killed
on my
anyone.
kids.
He never killed anyone. Like even when he fought his brother died before he could actually kill him.
Yeah, like he was kind of sitting there pissing his pants against the wall, going, "Please, we can talk. I promise. I'm sorry."
My brother pointed that out to me like a long time ago. He was like, he comes up to me after I watched the Ten Tails fight, and he's like, "Hey, by the way, Sasuke never killed anyone." I was like, "No, he had to have killed someone." No, he never killed anyone.
Mm. But no, if I had to do a show overall for women, I would definitely say Bleach. You got Yoruichi. You got
Yeah, oh man, yeah.
Soy Fawn.
I take
mean,
back what I
she's
said about
whiny.
Urza. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Soy Fawn's super whiny at
But
times, but
she's
she
a
can put in
powerhouse.
work. You had number 3 Espada. Who else? There's so many.
Oh, the one around Nelly
No.
L. When she transformed into a
Um,
full
Yeah, when she
Car.
got her memory back and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she went fucking berserk. When me and Josie
Um,
watched that, we lost our mind. We're like, oh shit.
Captain Unohana, especially after everyone finally learns her backstory in Thousand Year
yeah.
Blood War. Like
Yeah,
everyone that
she's-
was ever in her presence should thank her for being alive. That wasn't Old Man Yama.
Yeah, she was. Whew. She's probably one of the most powerful female characters in anime.
Especially with her Bankai. Yeah, no.
She couldn't beat Batman though.
Bro, first
Batman ain't shit. Batman ain't shit at all.
Yeah, honestly, not against this lady.
Well, in another changing shows again, because like I said, we could probably stick on Bleach for way too long. But I like how Nabara from Jujutsu Kaisen is portrayed. She's a no fucks given. I will you broke my nose with that haymaker.
Yeah.
Spits blood out. Proceeds to pull out hammer and says, "This is gonna hurt you way more than it's gonna hurt me."
Yeah, she's a straight up gangster, dude. Like, I would rather fight every woman in Bleach.
Was it May? Was the twin from the other school? Was that her name?
The one with that fought with what was it, like a fan or big ass hammer or something?
There was one that fought with, I think, a staff and one with a gun.
It was the staff one I
gun.
was thinking of.
I was thinking of gun.
Yeah, no, both of them.
No, that one does a pretty good job so far.
Women I wouldn't want to fight in an anime would be Biscuit.
Oh my god, you are right. Absolutely not.
Biscuit from Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, she would crush my head like a watermelon.
She would beat
I don't know
me
if that's
in her
impressive or not, but
chibi
it's-
form.
Yeah.
To change shows again, back to something that we already talked about.
Do it.
Bryce bringing up Code Geass. I think he meant to talk about Callan Statfield from Code Geass. Probably the most strongest female character-wise, for character art in that anime itself.
Doesn't she give the powers to people? Or no,
Ni-
I think it's somebody else.
I think that's an alien chick that Lelouch finds. I don't know her name.
Oh,
Changing shows. Who's the powerhouse from Reincarnated as a Slime? One of you's watched that.
nope.
I make jokes about it all the time. I've never seen it, but
I think my
should watch
10-year-old's I
You
think my
should watch it.
10-year-old's way farther along than this entire group aside from Brice.
It's on my list. I haven't gotten there yet.
Honorable mention is hold on, I have to Google her name. I thought I knew it off the top of my head. I know her last name's Curtis.
Jamie
she's-
Lee? No.
That's what I was thinking.
There's only one Curtis.
JB, if you listen.
No, Izanami Curtis from Full Metal Alchemist,
Oh my god.
the teacher.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, and
I'm glad
Mustang's
Full Metal got it.
assistant was a fucking
Oh
bad
yeah,
bitch, too.
what is that?
Lieutenant Major?
Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lieutenant Hawkeye.
Not
Alright,
to
well,
be confused with, Major Hawkeye from MASH.
yeah, I want to change shows again and talk about Hibana from Fire Force.
Yo, let's go.
Like, she,
Dude, Hibano's so cool. He's
Yeah.
so badass.
like, I don't want to say that she's one of the most powerful characters. I mean, she is still pretty powerful, especially when she's introduced, but she just don't give a shit about like, she literally calls everyone gravel and makes them, like, she walks on people. She is like, it even she hasn't been shown to really do a lot of fighting or anything, but I like Iris a lot from Fire Force, the sister who is with Shinra's team. Like, she is terrified, but she still runs up in there because she knows that she's got a job to do and she's gonna do it. And I guess you could say the evangelist too, because she's literally like the big bad. But
So, how do we feel about how My Hero Academia portrays women? I think they're undersold.
I mean, they're
A lot
I
of the
feel like
female
they're-
characters underperform so much and just get thrown to the back. Like, what has
I
Floppy
think
done in
they're
4 seasons?
kind of going for more of a harem, not full harem, but like they're gonna admire the MC more than they are gonna admire some of the other side
I know,
characters.
but with how heavy like everyone got introduced, and got like their introduction arc and did something relevant at first, like even Unohana, like what has she really done besides like woo? Like you kind of got at like woo over Deku. Like yeah,
I-
she kind of had that thing with oh my god, what's her name from League of Villains? Brice, name.
I know who you're
Don't know
talking.
her name.
The girl who can.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bloodbender.
She's a badass though. Like, she was just straight up murking people.
I mean, the girls really showed their more powerful side and that they actually had something in the movie, in
Yeah.
the My Hero Academia movie.
Toge or something like that.
Whichever ones they were showing off, like it was more of the support class showing off like inventions for the heroes. Like they were just like the girls there
Oh
in
yeah,
that
no.
movie.
The head of that class, she was badass. You're right.
Oh yeah, dude. Like the girls showed off in that movie out of the entire
Toga.
My Hero Academia series.
Thank you.
I do have to agree with Brian though that the female heroes do seem to be put more on the back burner, and I understand it's supposed to be mostly about Deku, but
And
the female characters definitely have way more to offer than what they've been given the opportunity to in the series. And I agree that the movie they got to display more, but like the one girl who can literally shoot acid and like melt fucking anything.
yeah,
Like
how
she should be
is
on
that?
she should be on the front lines.
Or
And
the girl that can form anything out of air, pretty much.
she uses the lymph nodes from inside her body.
Yeah, I know. She could just literally just mana struck. Like in the movie, she mana struck like a cannon.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah, like, so I mean, I don't want to say that they're underpowered because they are at least
Underutilized.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that would
best
be the
way
better
to
word.
describe them is they are very underutilized. The one that I think that they've utilized the most is earphone jack because of her sensory thing. Like, I think they've
Mm,
used her and her power perfectly for the series because it's
okay.
mostly for
He is like the perfect scout, so that does make
yeah,
sense.
her
to
her
use her as
power
a scout.
is perfect for just hey, I can hear them. They are 6 miles that way, and you've seen her build her ability through the show because at first she could only hear like a block away and then 2 blocks, and now she can hear like miles away.
Oh yeah, like she is like the perfect scout. Like even if she was a villain character, I would be more afraid of her than any of the other villains that are out there.
Oh yeah,
Just
because if you
because
don't have enough, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, just because of the fact that she could hear you from 6 miles away, and you're just like, all right, cool, I'm safe in my little bunker, and then fucking 5 minutes later, here comes fucking uh my heroes, just like, what the fuck? How did this happen? They
Yeah,
don't know where I was at.
you think you're safe, and then she's just right behind you because she knew where you were the whole time. Yeah, no, that's
There's
definitely.
a
I think they've used Okocha. Can't say her name right.
Ochako.
Ochaku.
Yeah, her. I think they've abused her in every way. Like even in the beginning in season 1, when they made her look helpless to the falling robot, and Deku had to break almost every bone in his body just to beat one robot. I think they just kind of screwed her from the beginning.
Yeah,
Western
they
girl was kind of cool aspect.
they turned Ochako kind of into like a trope.
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean, now of course she does have a really nice quirk where she can mess with gravity to an object, which is kind of cool. Because I mean, we've seen that with her and Deku. Like she made Deku's body very light and his shoes very heavy for him to train in at times, which is cool. But other than that, I mean, there's not real. They have abused her for other
she's not going
things.
to be taken on big. She can save a lot of civilians, but she's not going to be taken on big bads or anything like that.
And can we talk about how the first time we get introduced to a high level badass one, we get Mirako, and she literally loses 2 limbs pretty much and is on death's door in one fight?
Was that the rabbit quirk?
Yes.
She
The
was
rabbit, yes.
a badass too.
Yeah, no. Where has she been this whole show?
That was a badass fight with her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like,
That whole
I understand.
interaction.
Like I understand taking mad damage because she was against high ends or almost complete high ends, whatever those ones were officially classified as. But like she was taking on like 5. Like that was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, no, she succeeded where a lot of others wouldn't fail. Wasn't she like ranked number 6 or something like
Right,
that?
that's what I'm saying. Like she was a super high rank in the single digits at least, I believe, and goes in like a badass and instantly just gets annihilated, and we're probably not going to hear from her again.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
I am kind of worried about that because she was a badass. Absolutely.
yeah.
Badass.
Well, especially just like, and I get it, like we said, like side characters can only get so much love. It was we said like 7 times already.
Yeah, I want to
But,
see
like-
more of characters like her and less of characters like Midnight and Mount Lady.
Well, you're not going to see much of Midnight anyways. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
yeah,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, like,
She transfers schools.
yeah, yeah. She
Have
she,
you ever heard of Welcome to Demon Academy?
She got sent to the farm upstate.
They hold
the
Yeller there?
same one
Oh,
where
no.
Oh,
She's
no.
now a curse in Jujutsu Kaisen world.
She's hanging out with
Oof.
Zoro because he got lost again.
she is in for
Oh.
a forever genjutsu.
For a
Oh,
little
and
bit,
back on
go
that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Greg,
Yo,
Redbeard, whatever you want
Yo.
to be called. Bryce 2, 4, whatever.
1. I'm Brice number
Yo.
1.
Put it on your
Four.
list. You need to watch it. Okay. it on your
I
list.
will put it at number 7.
Okay. Number 7 is fine.
Yeah.
But
will
as
never
the
make it to
female
number
character
7.
on there, B, or was you talking about Shion?
He doesn't.
Carson,
He was
started-
asking
my
you.
son
There's
started
a lot.
watching it.
There's a lot of
And-
badass female characters on there.
Right. And when he's told me that several times. So like he's like a season or so in, and he's told me that. So I was like, I figured one of you had watched it enough that it was worth bringing up from everything he's told me.
Absolutely banger anime. Must
You know,
watch.
an anime we haven't talked about a single female character out of. That's actually a
Really?
popular one that when I say probably everyone's seen it, minus Salty, of
Dude,
course. Attack on Titan.
There's
was gonna-
nothing good in
I was
Attack
gonna
on
bring
Titan.
up Mikasa. Mikasa?
I was gonna say Kill la Kill.
That's a good one,
Yeah,
too.
dude.
That was a
Attack
good
on
one, too.
Titan's female
More classier
characters.
than that.
The only female character that I super liked was Gabby.
Never liked Attack on Titan as a whole.
No? There's a lot
No.
of people.
Good.
For it being so famous, I meet a lot of people that doesn't really like it.
It'll be over soon, boys. Don't worry.
It'll be
I
over soon.
I have watched season 1A and season 2 from when they came out. From when Attack on Titan first came out, I've watched it.
20 years
And the
ago.
First 2 seasons, I just couldn't. I was like, it's so slow, it's so underdeveloped. It's just not. There's nothing catching to it like
Give
most
it
animes are.
I
Give
can't
the
stand
third
the
season a
animation.
chance. Give the third season a chance.
Yeah, wait till they announce part 5 here soon.
It has
Oh
one of the
my
best anime
gosh.
speeches.
It
I
really
can't
does.
really keep track of what's going on either. I mean, I get it. There's Titans. They're basically like there's minor boss monsters, and then there's major
dude,
boss monsters.
It
they gotta
comes
fight.
full circle. Like
It
yeah.
does, dude. It's
It's-
actually
I
insane.
watched the first season, was like, dude, I like this just because it's gory, and then it got popular, and the inner hot topic high school hipster in me was like, well, fuck this show then. Like, I ain't watching it. And then
Oh, I mean, I get it. Like, I get it for the goriness. Like, it is one of the more gorier animes for the West, at least. It's because most animes for the West aren't gonna be that gory because you really can't put that out there because it gets censored a lot more. But it is one of the more gorier ones, which I guess probably got up there because of that. But who knows?
but the final whatever, I don't even know what they're called, but when it said it was the final season, so I
We're gonna
caught
go
up.
with arcs.
I caught up to it,
are
and then let me look, and then I'll come back to what I'm saying.
Well,
so I
right
can
now
name it for
they
sure.
have already announced the season 3 part 4 is announced, and they haven't even the one coming out now is going to be part 3. So there's already going to be another huge gap before it's ever finished anyway.
Yes, they're just
So,
milking the
like,
cow.
The final part 1, where is it I haven't seen the rest of the show, but that single season is worth watching at least up to that point,
Agreed. 100%. Agreed.
because it gives you all of this lore and depth and backstory, and you're like, holy cow, like this show has layers, like an ogre or a
An ogre.
donkey
Or an onion.
or an onion
Oh,
or a parfait.
Oh, a parfait. You know, everyone
But-
loves a parfait.
and waffles in the morning. But
nothing like a triple layered waffle.
Oh my
that
god.
particular season, I was like, okay. And like, they have, when I brought it up about their female characters, they have like background characters, a lot of them, but their background female characters, like the one chick that has the eye patch,
Yes.
that
the
literally-
Captain.
yeah, she interrogates people.
Yes.
Like, Google whatever manga has the interrogation in it, and just read the interrogation. Like, that is so censored from the gore. Like, the manga is just so much. Oh, it's just so much. It's one of the few shows where I'll say, read the manga.
So, 100% agreed. Switching gears off of Attack on Titan.
Oh, I
Attack
thought you were
on,
switching off females. I was like, before we
Attack
switch off
on-
females, the best
Attack on
female
Time.
anime character ever is Faye.
Asuna.
Oh, Faye.
Faye Valentine.
Did you say Asuna?
I did.
Asuna.
You said
cool, but
Asuna. Okay.
but
So
she's not
Asuna
the
is
best.
cool, but she's not the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so a new juggernaut is Makima from Chainsaw Man. I know Chainsaw Man has got a lot of hate.
I
But
like
haven't
watching
watched it yet.
screwdrivers beat up hammers. I mean,
but
I will be the
What
first one on
was-
the hate train. Don't worry. Keep going.
Hang on.
Makima was a powerhouse, and the power that we don't really know much of it. Just wait, who said the nails and hammers?
I said I like to watch screwdrivers fight hammers.
Oh, okay.
I was
Anyways,
gonna ask the name again, Bryce. If
What's
you
that?
could.
Which
the name
name?
of that anime and the name of the anime you just said.
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man. All right, thank you.
It's a
Okay.
great M.
It's not. It's not bad.
See
Okay.
anemone.
The power that she like.
I am dyslexic
dude.
with words.
So her team gets
So
Her
hey,
team-
Bryce is trying to talk.
so her team gets wiped out. Okay, this team that she's got together gets wiped out, or so she thinks.
Spoilers,
but
man.
you know, and spoilers. And she
Spoil it up.
literally
Sell me this anime, Bryce.
Show me this 3-week-old milk.
Okay, so
Make me hype about this.
okay, she gets shot in the head.
What?
Okay, we're on a train.
Bang
She just gets
Gunski?
point blank, just shot in the head.
Oh damn.
And I was like, oh, well, this anime is what I don't. Okay, we got another Akame ga Kill kind of anime. And then all of a sudden, a man just gets absolutely squashed like a pop can. I was like, what the hell is going on? And it's her. She gets like prisoners that like got like life sentences or whatever, like really bad people, and she lines them all up, and she uses them as sacrifices with her devil's power. Okay, her devil's power. I don't know exactly what her devil's power is, but she's called the Devil of Domination or something like it. She might be a devil herself. I'm not 100% sure. I had never really looked into it. She like does some sort of chant or something, finds the person that she's after, sacrifices the prisoner, and they get squashed like you're stepping on a pop can. And they're just gone. Just absolutely obliterated. They don't
Yeah.
exist anymore.
Some people would pay for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Where can I find
God
this?
damn it.
Asking for a friend.
Right. So
It's
oh,
a
man.
1-900 number. You can't afford it.
She's really cool, and she's like a powerhouse of like the new generation of anime, and I recommend checking out Chainsaw Man. I honestly do. A lot of people is saying it's mid. I think it's kind of mid, but it's a little.
I get
Some
dramatic.
people say it's mid, and they're right.
People say
Go
it's
watch
mid,
it
and they're right.
anyway.
But it's got some good scenes, and I think it is worth a watch. If you want a quick anime to run through real quick, watch Chainsaw Man.
Now, is it
Or
an
read it.
anime where you actually have to sit down and watch it, or is it something that you can have as background and just listen to it?
You should always watch the show.
Well, you
Yeah,
should always
if you
watch the show.
If you can
but-
just have it playing in the background, I would never recommend it.
right,
The
I
gore
can't.
is a big sell of it.
I
and,
can't give you. Yeah, I can't give you. Yeah, the gore is a big sell of it. I can't give you your answer that you're looking for because I watch them. The only
answer is no.
background anime that I have is like Naruto and like Dragon Ball Z, and that's just comfort stuff that I put on in the background while I'm I
Yeah,
don't know,
it's
doing
series
laundry
that
or
you've
something
seen
like
from
that.
start to finish 10 or 15
Right.
times.
I just want to hear their voices, you know. Dude,
I
you
mean-
give
I
me
mean, that's
power
what
to
I'm
fold
getting-
these
that's what I'm
clothes.
getting at. Is it like because like I will watch an anime. Like if I'm new to the anime, I'm gonna watch it like full on, like sit down and watch it, or right before I go to bed watch it. But if it's something I've seen 30 billion times, I'm gonna
So
have
it's
it down in the
something.
background.
It's something that you want to watch. Yeah, you don't
Definitely
want.
the
You don't
first
want to
time.
have it in the background because, as I think B said, or
Yeah. it's
or
me.
Slurpee said, okay,
The gore.
the gore is the big selling point, and it's Devils and Chainsaw Man. But yeah, carry on.
Well, to touch on Bryce saying like it was cool to hear their voice again, and like sort of a comfort thing, Misty appeared in Pokemon in
I
Ash's
saw
little
that was
farewell
supposed to
tour that
happen.
he he's getting a little farewell tour. A lot of old faces are coming back,
Okay.
and she just so happened to be one of them. Literally goes, I was watching your championship battle, couldn't sit still, and then I had to come find you, and they basically have an episode reminiscing and going down memory lane. So yeah, if you want to feel old, go look that up.
Dude, I'm not old. He's
Yeah.
still 10. Like, we haven't even aged. What are you
No,
talking
you want me to
about?
make everybody feel really bad right now? When you think of 30 years ago, what year do you think?
Shrek.
Mr. Mimes' dad.
30 years ago, 1970.
No, 30 years ago in
Oh.
1990.
Oh no.
Yeah. Trust me, I'm
Yeah.
older than that.
Yeah, Salty's been here since the
30 years
dinosaurs
ago
were
is
running.
1970.
Which is
Like,
wild, the
okay,
Give
fact
me
that
a
I'm the
30.
one that ended up being the oldest. I hate all of you.
Crazy how math works.
Dude,
I
we
think
stay off
I'm
your
the
lawn.
youngest.
Fucking math. That's right, you damn kids.
You and your scooter boards and
You and your
skate tracks.
your damn skateboards with motors in them.
Yeah. Talking about your anime characters and shit.
I don't even know what a Goku is.
Yeah, quit watching cartoons and turn on the news.
Don't you know how to drive a tractor yet?
Greg, didn't you have something that one of our top fans wanted to bring up?
That's what this whole episode has been so far. Was the powerful female characters.
Yeah. Thought that's what
No,
we were
I
doing.
thought there was something else. Wasn't there something about antagonists that she
Oh
wanted?
yeah. A recommendation for a top 5 for the anime episode was our top 5 favorite anime antagonists. So, who are your favorite bad people? I don't want to say bad guys because there's some bad
I will
girls
go
out there too.
first.
I feel like that's a matter of
One,
perspective because some of the MCs of animes I've seen, I would consider to be the villain.
first and foremost, the greatest antagonist ever is Lord Aizen from Bleach. Literally controlled every aspect of Ichigo's life once he was conceived, and then tried to use him for a stepping stone, but was too arrogant and still was unkillable. Dude is literally taped to a chair, and when the head of the Quincy's came to him and said, "Hey, will you just work with me?" He said, "No, I will kill your ass." He said, "Well, leave him here. We can't trust his ass."
I think you're overlooking
It was-
Raditz.
And was still
No way.
able, while stuck to that chair, still able to use his powers to influence time.
Yeah. Nah, he's pretty good. Well,
Oh,
really
yeah,
bad, I
Aizen.
guess. would be.
Name a better antagonist.
Frieza.
I will.
Oh my gosh, Frieza. Yeah.
He's
Ew,
the
hit me
embodiment.
with it.
Frieza is the embodiment of just
Villain.
evil.
Texas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Like,
He's not like, I don't give a shit evil. I'm just gonna destroy
He's-
you. And
he's
like, I just
evil
want
for
money.
this-
Like Aizen wanted to rule 3 different universes.
yeah, he had motives and plans, and Frieza's just
A
evil for
spoiled
the
brat.
sake of evil. Like, I want, I don't get, I blow up. He's very, as crazy as he's very laid back in his approach. He's like, things will work out. If not, I'll change them. Like, I'm not taking away from him as an antagonist because he is definitely a very I don't want to say good antagonist because he's not good in any means other than how bad he is. But to me, the most antagonistic antagonist is Frieza because like, dude's just doing evil shit because like he has no motive other than I want to destroy everything and conquer it all.
Okay.
See,
so,
I would
Well,
have
I
to
mean, but
counter that
Aizen-
one with Vegeta.
No, but you
Yo.
see, Aizen wants to just own, control everything because everyone else is beneath him. Like even the Soul King is God is beneath me. I need to be in charge. So, like, I think he even has Frieza trumped on motive. But you go ahead with Vegeta, Steve. I just wanted to say that 1 second.
I mean,
don't
I
go
don't-
ahead
I-
with Vegeta. What are you talking about? No.
I wanted
mean,
to hear
I'm not-
this. This will be
I'm
ratings.
not gonna put down Aizen. All right, Aizen is a very good choice. I will give you that. But I think Vegeta trumps at least Frieza in the antagonist department, because even though he does end up fighting side by side with Goku forever, uh, it's still the fact that that Vegeta is willing to do anything and everything in his own power, or power that is not his, to get to power where he is more powerful than Goku.
Vegeta's not a bad guy. He was just doing his job because he was scared of his boss.
Yeah, and now
himself?
he gets powerful.
Frieza,
and-
he was one of Frieza's soldiers.
Well, I mean, when we first meet him, he
Mm.
couldn't even take on that purple-haired guy that he beat with one random ki blast after fighting Goku.
He couldn't beat
He was a
Zarbon
piss
until he met Goku.
Well, Zarbon was actually somebody at least. Like he was.
Well, I mean, like,
Vegeta
even
was
look-
still scared of
I mean-
Pissant when we met him.
I mean, even on Namek, Vegeta wasn't really following Frieza's orders. He was doing his own shit. He was fucking like, I'm gonna do this
Oh, at
to
that
fuck
point, yeah.
everyone else over. That way it betters me, which I feel like is a very great plot for an antagonist itself. Is like, I'm doing something that I want to do that's gonna fuck everyone else over, even though I was a part of this old group, just
His
to better
whole-
myself.
His whole motive was to get the Dragon Ball so he could wish for immortality. That way Frieza couldn't kill him, so he could take his
Yeah,
own orders.
Like he went like he was currently like being a good little boy doing orders. And don't get me wrong, Vegeta is my favorite character in all of Dragon Ball Z and should be like
Oh yeah, he's
way further along than Goku at this point.
yeah.
But
I agree.
that's plot armor. But yeah, no, he was like 100% a whipping boy when he got wind of Raditz dying and the Dragon Balls and wishing people back like Goku told him to do to Piccolo. Like, yeah, I don't know. You gotta sell me a little harder on that one, Steve.
Yeah,
Everybody
Yeah,
knows
he-
it's the Cybermen.
yeah. Them's dudes.
we
They
wasn't
were
going to bring them up.
They were planted
uh,
and grew
Dude,
for
we
evil.
played fair. We were playing
Yeah,
fair.
dude, that's just
Oh,
unfair.
geez.
They were Cybermen were taking orders from the minions. What are we talking?
I mean, they did kill
It's
like
still one
the
sided.
most C-rated character in all of
Thank goodness.
DBZ.
Do it
Minions,
again.
minions were taking
Alright,
orders from the
so
seagulls from Finding
Steve-
Nemo.
Steve, it's been fun
Mine.
having you, but you just gave
Yeah.
Yamcha a
You
C
had a-
rating.
Yeah, that's 2 grades too high.
He needs some love at some point, okay?
Wait,
He had-
what
he
about
has-
Yamcha?
He had it the first 5 seasons he was introduced. Now
What
he
do
just
we-
needs to lay in the hole.
Hold on. Did Steve bring up Yamcha?
Yeah.
And called him C rated.
Yeah.
All right, Steve, it was
mean-
nice having you on the show.
For reference.
what I said.
Well,
He's oh shit. Up until this point, man, you had me. You knew a bunch of bad bitches, a lot of great female characters, a lot of anime knowledge, and then Yamcha's C rank, and I just voided
No.
everything you said all
You,
day.
you think you know a guy, then his true colors come out that one day.
hate me for misspeaking.
The whole
Don't
time
love
he's
you
been a
too.
Krillin stan.
Oh man.
Don't
okay,
hate on
so
Krillin. Krillin
listen,
got the baddest bitch in all of
I'll
DBZ.
give
all
him-
of you,
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he meant to say 3rd string and not C rank.
third string fighter with a 4th string deck.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the name of the episode.
Don't you diss Joey Willow
My
like that.
Valentine. My Valentine was a badass too.
Yeah. So antagonist, you guys, all of you guys are wrong. The antagonist is Sho Tucker. If you know Sho Tucker, we can kiss. In
It's
the
not even
streets.
a real. It's
Well,
made
I
up.
don't know who that is. Damn.
That
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Sho
wow,
Tucker.
Salty.
Can we still kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
just for
what?
funsies.
Sho
As long as you're
Tucker-
talking me for isn't that?
Sho Tucker. He is the doctor scientist from Full Metal Alchemist.
I forgot about that show for a second.
The
Bryce, it's
one
been
with
nice
the-
having you.
the
we
girl
were
in
talking
the
about
dog.
antagonist,
He brought
not
up Full
Satan.
Metal like 10 minutes
No.
ago.
Everyone shun him. We didn't have to bring that up.
Well,
we were talking about
hey, look,
antagonist,
Shun,
and
That
we
is an
bring up
antagonist.
Satan.
shun
I
the
mean,
unbeliever.
Edward?
Shun.
Edward.
He said,
Oh
No,
man.
that's
Mr.
the
Pants.
So it was so is that who that person is? Is the dog's
Yeah.
dad?
Yeah.
The caregiver.
I
Yes.
wouldn't. Yeah, no, I agree
Is-
with Brian. Like he doesn't count as an antagonist. He's just pure evil. That don't count.
Like
mean, he's
Kid
not a
Buu
he's
was
not
like,
a
look at him in shame. It was
he's
like,
not a
no, dude.
primary. He's not a
Yeah,
primary
There's a
antagonist.
difference
but, like,
between a bad guy and evil incarnate, Bryce, and you just went straight to evil incarnate. Like,
I'll see
But this
myself
show
out.
had standards.
calling him an antagonist is too polite. Like that is not rude enough to him.
I thought we were going for the baddest of the bad. My apologies.
So we're just gonna change subjects now. We got
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna change subjects. Yeah.
Bryce wins, I guess. Fucking
Yeah,
cheater.
well, I mean, Batman does, but
Wow.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
Well, to stick on the villain route, what main character do you think would make the best villain, and like they wouldn't have to necessarily change much in their personality per se?
not Sasuke.
He'd actually have to kill someone.
Yeah, he tried that, didn't work out too well.
I mean, just to give you my example, wouldn't have to change pretty much anything because he already is kind of bad in the world, like the world's view. Luffy, he's a fucking pirate. He fights who he wants. He fights who he thinks is evil. If he likes you, he likes you, and if not, he just does what he wants.
Yeah, and I would say
Like,
that's fair because from
He could go evil, and the story could be just as fun. I feel.
well, and he wouldn't even have to go evil because from a lot of in-universe people's perspective, he is evil.
I mean, imagine him though progressing in the sense of how Sasuke did versus Naruto over the years.
I thought we were talking about good bad guys, Brian.
Wow.
Like if he
Wow.
progressed like Sasuke, he wouldn't be that bad of a dude.
Wow. Brice is gonna be so
Well,
done with
Luffy
you.
actually kills people?
Ooh.
Actually, no.
Ooh.
I-
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So, well, no,
Wait.
because Luffy's
thought
killed just
Itachi
as many
saved him from
people
the
as
slaughter.
Sasuke.
I'm shaking with anticipation.
Bro.
Like Luffy's never killed nobody either.
This is true.
I think
But he
Zoro would
chose
be
not-
a better bad guy than Luffy, though.
He's already on the crew. Like I'm saying though, like not only that, like he could take the whole Straw Hat crew. Zoro was already out hunting people for bounties. It wouldn't be that hard to convince him to hunt and do something else in this way instead. He does have honor and this and that as a swordsman, but so does Mihawk, and Mihawk will go slice down anybody when he feels like it, if he feels they're worthy enough for it. But he also has no problem going and embarrassing the shit out of Zoro with a butter knife either.
Honestly, in my opinion, a good guy who
Nami, money driven. Sorry, go
could,
ahead.
I was gonna say Kenpachi. I think he would make an excellent villain. And all he would have to do is change who he's swinging his sword at, because he fights for the good guys for the wrong
yeah.
reasons. Like he's like, I'm gonna fight on your side because I get to kill people. Because there's a lot of bad guys to kill. If there were more good guys to kill than bad guys, I would be a bad guy and kill all the good guys. But you
He
good
did
guys aren't strong
literally-
enough.
He did literally join the Soul Society because Unohana's fight with him intrigued him so much. He's like, "No, I'm gonna go with you. I like how this goes."
Yeah.
So yeah, no, he would be very easy to sway, especially if he'd ever if he would have been fighting at full power the whole time.
Naruto should have been a bad guy.
That's who I was gonna say. My pick is Naruto. Honestly, like, let's think of some of the bad things that happened to Naruto.
Just tell us Gaara's story real quick because it's the same thing.
I mean, like, let's just think of the times like he got like beat up for no reason or for a reason just for himself, to where it should have made him like pissed off or mad or blood. Like when he got beat up by the Hidden Cloud Girl, he got pummeled for, for what Sasuke did to B. That's just minor. Okay, we're just talking minor. Okay,
No,
I'm gonna
no,
go.
you're
I'm gonna go minor to more heavy.
That's fine.
When he nearly died protecting Tsunade. Okay. I'm just talking like just bad things that has happened to him. So
His
I'm
entire
going-
childhood being shunned.
Right. His entire lost both of his parents
Wow.
the day he was born. He grew up alone.
Third Hokage, worst Hokage for that.
Right.
I disagree.
If you haven't lost Boruto, or if you haven't watched Boruto, this is going to be a spoiler. And it's a big one. It's a juicer. Losing. I don't even want to say it because it's a big spoiler.
Bro, it's
I'm
been
gonna
all
say
over everything.
it's
Anyone who cares
was-
about Boruto has watched it already.
losing
if
Kurama.
I was gonna say if anyone's used TikTok, they should have
Yeah.
seen it by now.
Yeah, losing Kurama. Neji dying in his arms. And then, of
That
course,
one, I'm surprised at that point Naruto didn't just absolutely go ape shit.
right, finding out about Jiraiya, you know. And then another one was in the manga, he witnessed his son's death, like apparent death, like right before his eyes, like right in front of him. It just happened.
No.
So speaking on the manga part, same thing that going when in the manga when Tsunade tells Naruto of Jiraiya's death, in the manga you can actually see the eyes of Ninetales, how they go from round pupils to slits like cats, which is probably one of the most scarier things in the manga. Is
Mhm.
at that point because they could have went two ways. They could have went well. They did go one way. They could have went where Naruto just goes into full five-tail form and just starts wrecking the village, but they went with him calming down and going with Toad Sage and learning how to use Sage mode.
Right. And I think the whole point of the Toad Sage was so he would use Sage Jutsu instead of relying on
Whoa.
Ninetales powers.
I think it was just to amp them both.
No, they also knew through Jiraiya's battle that Sage Jutsu is one of, if not the only things that worked on pain. So that was a big push as well as to why he went into it.
Right.
Well,
Also,
Toad Sage also knew that because he also fought him and Granny
Right.
Toad both fought with Jiraiya against Pain.
Right.
So I mean,
Yeah, but that's what I said. That right there is the big drive as to why he went to learn Sage Mode, because of the huge power up you get from it, and knowing that it's one of the only things that's going to work here shortly against the main villain.
I mean, Sage Art is also one of the more stronger and more direct
is.
lines to chakra. So it is literally the strongest form of having chakra because it's just unbeatable because it's the hardest one to control, and you really can't predict Sage Arts because it's just so.
Yeah.
think-
Aside from
I
being
think
a Jinchuriki, it's like
I think
the hardest
Neji
thing
said
to
it
do.
best when he was fighting Pain. The color spectrum showed it best that there was like 6 different wavelengths of Naruto fighting one
Mhm.
target with Sage Art, which was kind of crazy.
to get back on track, yeah, my pick is Naruto.
Well, to counter that, a lot of the things you brought up though of like watching Boruto almost die, Neji die, do you think he would have even cared about some of those things, and like if he would have turned evil? And
Well,
at
that
what
depends.
point do you think he would have turned evil?
I think he was saying that those were all different points where he could have turned evil, and it had
Yeah, he
been
could have just like
accepted.
snapped.
Where
Like-
do you think the most popular one would be though? Like if you had to maybe just choose one then.
Probably the whole interaction with the war and Neji dying in his arms.
Jiraiya.
Well, I want
I'm
to say
gonna
Jiraiya, but
I'm gonna say his childhood.
well, his childhood, he should have. He should have did the whole. It should
But
have
it
went through the
wasn't-
whole Gara thing.
The childhood wasn't as bad as it led on though, because yeah, like it would show points of him like, oh, Sasuke won't be my friend. He's the only one like me.
Bro,
But then
get
we've seen
shunned,
other.
get
we've also-
shunned by everybody you ever meet except for 2 people, and tell me you feel good about
But they
yourself.
show other cutscenes of like Shikamaru and Choji hanging out with him and getting scolded for it.
You
that
have
wasn't-
two
Still
of the
hanging out
most
and still hanging out with
laziest
him anyway.
characters in Naruto that run the
Like-
village now. What are you
Like
talking about?
Shikamaru is like screw Sasuke. Shikamaru was actually his best friend because he was actually his friend when no one else would be.
Shikamaru's dad made that happen. So I was reading an article on this. Shikamaru's dad wanted that to happen.
Well, he was the
because
smartest man in the village. He understood the
because
real.
yeah, that was the fourth fourth Hokage. That's fourth Hokage's son. You know, he's like, yeah, it's not so bad that you become friends with Naruto because Hokage runs in his blood. So I
Yeah,
mean,
because Neji was right,
Neji was right.
and fate matters, and destiny is a thing.
Hmm. And the third Hokage will pretend to care about you and then treat you like shit your whole life.
He couldn't actually. He did care about Naruto, but he couldn't show it because of all of the
The what?
all the propaganda and
The
shit
politics.
going on, all the politics, because it was leaked by Donzo that the nine-tailed fox was sealed inside of Naruto, which is why the whole village hated him to begin with. And he couldn't openly be sympathetic to Naruto and still have the support of the village. It was all planned by Donzo to try to separate the Hokage from Naruto, trying to drive Naruto away from the village
Yeah,
and into the root.
I never understood the whole Donzo thing. Like, you're the Hokage.
He
Like,
was
your
Hiruzen's
best
best
friend.
friend.
How is your best friend the biggest piece of shit, arguably, in the whole show, and done nothing his whole life but try to backstab you and manipulate everything in existence?
Because he didn't
Well, I
know
mean,
about a
like,
lot of it.
look at me and you.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
I know you just try to
Look,
take me for
look at
everything I have,
Naruto
I'll
and
still love you.
Sasuke. Look at Goku and Vegeta. Look at
But that's what I just said. Like,
any pair.
Shikamaru is arguably his actual best friend because, like, what Sasuke, your whole family's dead. Be my best friend.
Okay, but
Shikamaru,
that
you'll
was
actually hang out with me. Fuck you.
Sasuke's whole family dying. That was also on Don's. Like
Yeah, that was Donzo's fault.
him
Don's-
hating Naruto for it wasn't really should
No,
have
he
been
just
directed towards him. It's just because Naruto ends up becoming more powerful than Sasuke is why he hates Naruto.
So I'm gonna
But
throw a
Danzo
curveball
is-
in that. I don't think Donzo is. I think it's the third Hokage's fault that happened to the Uchiha clan.
like the
No.
first, the
Lollygagging.
second, the fourth
lollygagging.
Hokage. They wouldn't have cared. No other Hokage would have cared. They would have done what they felt was right and not let inner
Well, the second
politics and
Hokage
bullshit.
would've
But
just
if he
did it
felt
himself.
what he felt was right, he voiced, whether it was actually right or not. They had no problems voicing their opinions and saying, "This is how it's going to go because I'm Hokage. Fight me in the streets because Salty's here."
That's right.
Uh,
You damn right.
Get out them sheets and
Get out
fight
the
in the
sheets.
streets.
Find
even
me in the
Tsunade
streets.
had no problems arguing and standing up against the elders. That problem was done and over with by the time Kakashi or Naruto took over. But like the third Hokage, like granted his combat skill was amazing, but he emotionally and everything else kept the village stagnant for decades. Actually, like regressed it.
Well, it was hard for him to make decisions because he had made so many bad decisions, which is actually why he stepped away from being Hokage, was to atone for his sins for letting so many of the members of his village die in the war against the Rain Village during the Third Shinobi War. And that's why Minato took over. And he only resumed that role because Minato died. So he, like, if you were Hiruzen, you wouldn't feel like you could make any correct decision. Like, you take a kid
Well-
under your wing named Orochimaru, and you think you're doing the best you can to lead him down the right direction, and then you have to banish him from your village for experiments. You try to protect your village by being in this war, and you make a bunch of bad decisions to get a bunch of people killed. Like, I would let other people make decisions for me too if everything I put my hands on turned to shit.
Well, if he truly felt that way, why didn't they find someone else in like the 10, 15 years that he was Hokage?
They tried to give it to a couple people and they wouldn't take it. And then the other people that were powerful enough to do it, like Donzo, they didn't want in that seat.
I just find it hard to believe that over longer than a decade, because Naruto failed 3 times, so he That's another weird thing. Like, he was 3 years older than Sasuke, but they've been portrayed as the same age because he failed it 3 times. Or it was his 3rd time taking it when he passed it, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's always been a weird sort of like, hey, why is this like this for the story? Why over a decade, if this old man was so decrepit or bad at his decisions, there was no one else that would have stepped up or taken it over a whole decade
Well,
that
and
was worthy or strong enough or whatever you needed.
well, one of the biggest reasons he didn't one of the biggest reasons he felt the way he did was because of Donzo's manipulation. Because Donzo was in his ear making him feel that way. Because Hiruzen thought Donzo was his best friend, and Donzo just saw him as a puppet.
I mean, you also got to look at the fact that if the third would have died, Donzo would have taken the seat as interim Hokage until they got another Hokage.
Well, like
That-
that's
Well,
fine
yeah,
and
he continually tried to get Hiruzen ambushed and killed, and
I mean,
they
you also
they
got to
show that in
remember
flashbacks
what.
and stuff like that.
I mean, Donzo also had control of one side of the Anbu Black Ops. So
He actually, yeah, he had complete
and-
control over the route, and the regular Anbu would also take his words because he was an advisor for the Hokage.
well, and 90% of the Onbu came from the root.
Right. So, yeah, I mean,
All right, well,
Donzo fucked a lot of shit up. End of
yes.
story. and
Oh.
Naruto should have been a bad guy.
So to
biggest
answer
piece of shit in anime, Donzo.
Mm.
So to
To-
answer your question,
to answer the question Greg brought up, real quick, rapid fire top 5 anime antagonists. Number
Oh.
5, Light Yagami. Number 4, Madara Uchiha. Number 3, Yojiro Hama. Number
Mm.
2, Father from Full Metal Alchemist. And number 1,
Oh.
Griffith from Berserk.
Okay,
Come on.
number 4 was Madara.
Yeah.
Favorite,
I'd say
not best.
Orochimaru. I'd say Orochimaru over Madara.
No, favorite, not best. That was his favorite.
Oh, that's
No,
his favorite.
those
okay.
those are what I consider to be.
Okay, never mind. I didn't know if you were reading off of some website or something.
No, that's my list of
No original thoughts here, folks.
like not worst as in like best at their job.
Right.
We'll say that. Not worst like you're a terrible villain, but you're just a terrible person.
Right.
And Griffith from Berserk takes the cake. Just because of what happens.
Can't really say I know Berserk at all.
I hear great things about it.
So the reason he's number 1 for me. Quick little rundown. The main character from Berserk, can't remember his name. He's a traveling mercenary. Or
Guts.
he's Guts, yes, thank you. That's why I couldn't remember his name. And he runs into the Band of the Hawk, which Griffith is the leader of. And they're a mercenary group. He joins them, whatever. They become like super close buds. Like the whole group does. Guts says he has to leave the group. After they do something like crazy awesome, they get all this renown, they're now famous. Guts is like, that's not what I'm about. Griffith has a Romeo and Juliet moment and sleeps with like the princess
Oh,
and then
shit.
gets thrown in jail and rots in prison for years and is tortured. And he finally like meets that universe's, and I know there might be people that are hearing this and they're like, oh, that's not super true, but he meets like Satan pretty much, and his entire band gets sacrificed, and like the main female protagonist is assaulted by him in front of Guts, and Guts loses his arm, like forearm down, and like they escape, but they're constantly hunted because they're marked by the demons. So Griffith becomes, to achieve what he wants, he literally does like every vile thing in the book. And is by far the biggest anime villain.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely that Berserk is definitely, it goes hard. It's not as
Yeah.
gory as something like Attack on Titan, but it definitely has its moments where you go, "Oh shit."
You can like catch up on like a chunk. You can get like like Netflix has 3 movies that were like the leading up predecessor of like the old anime. So you could watch those. That's what I ended up watching, and I had
Okay.
like literally just like let it play and left the room when he like became pinnacle villain.
Oh.
I was like, I just can't, like,
Yeah.
it's fucked up. So,
Hmm.
but Father's number 2 because he literally sacrifices an entire
What
race
about
of people.
Dio?
Dio is just a fucking spoiled brat who gets to become a vampire.
That's fair.
You
That's fair.
fucking heard it here, and it's true. It's damn true.
And I'm a huge
Spoiled brat.
fucking
Kurt
JoJo
Angle?
fan. Yeah, pretty much. He's
Wow.
Kurt Angle, but with hair.
I'll steal anyone's line once, twice for money.
Yeah,
That's right. I'll do anything for money.
I'll try anything twice.
Who do you think taught Greg some of this dumb shit?
Brice.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. That
You're welcome.
So
Yeah,
here's a
That
question.
was
else
a,
got their
yeah.
five?
I totally forgot about that top 5.
Here's a
I got my
question
top
for you
5.
boys.
Not gonna lie.
You can wait off on your answers until the end of the episode, but again, as someone who does not watch anime, as someone who might come in here and listen to you guys ramble about things that they don't know, out of everybody here, what do you guys recommend for people starting out watching anime? Like, if I decided tomorrow that I'm going to start, what's an anime that you would suggest?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
No.
Yeah. He asked
start
me
with
a
it.
question and I
It's
answered
funny
it.
because, like, I've seen bits and pieces of Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, I remember Toonami. Like,
Though Yu Yu
I
Hakusho is a top tier anime.
It runs
start
too
with
long for an
Sure.
intro and is very heavy to take in.
well, I'm
For an
heavy
intro
also, so
anime.
we have a thing in common.
So I would have to say any anime that falls into the Izakaya series, like grouping of anime.
Which
like,
is
SAO.
because
Hold
yeah, I
on,
was gonna say.
hold on. Say
So-
that again.
so-
Say that word again.
Biggest
Is
word
he
all.
high?
Isekai.
Isekai.
Isekai,
No,
sorry.
it's not.
I got you.
I am fucking dyslexic.
I'm there with you,
Give me a
brother.
minute.
Don't feel bad.
Okay.
I was
So-
confused.
So shows that fall into the Isekai.
That word.
Yes. Grouping of anime. So like SAO, Fire Force, campfire cooking in another world with a seared skill.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Just slide it in there.
ReZero, Log Horizon, No Game No Life, which No Game No Life
Not No Game No Life.
I do not recommend that to a beginner.
that one
no,
is
that is not a beginner.
It falls into it, but I would not do that one as a starting. Inuyasha, you could,
Full Metal.
yeah.
Full Metal's probably the best starter anime.
So, what you want to do, in my opinion, for an anime,
Is-
you want to get a healthy not shut up, Greg. Don't you say Yu Yu Hakusho.
I was
He
honestly
was
not
cooking
going to
it
say
up,
that.
you
I was
could
going
hear
to
him.
say Gone of High School.
No.
You can hear him
Okay,
cooking
God,
up
High
the
School's pretty cool.
shenanigans.
Anyways, what you want to look for an anime for someone that's starting, you want to look for the perfect blend of comedy, drama, and action.
Okay.
Hakusho.
Okay. There is a lot of anime that is like that. But
I'll say it again.
some of those animes aren't categorized under comedy, drama, action. You just have to watch them to know, or ask somebody. Ask somebody.
Right.
that-
Find someone who has some knowledge.
Yeah.
You got 5 syllables, bro.
There is a lot of anime to get started on. Yu Yu Hakusho is a good anime. It is not a starter anime. However,
That's
it was some of our it was some of our starter animes.
has all the things you listed.
Oh, no.
Oh my goodness.
So
I
confused,
honestly-
man.
My
I
answer to
don't
that
think-
question is it varies. I counter, like Salty, if you asked me what is an anime I should start to try to get into anime, I'd ask you a couple simple questions like, what are your interests? Because like Greg can recommend Yu Hakusho to everyone who will listen, but anyone who
will.
doesn't have an interest in it, like you might be more of a sports fan. So like
Dragon Ball.
some of the sports
Blue
animes.
Lock.
Yeah, like Haikyuu or Blue Lock or
Yes.
something like that.
Haiku is a fucking excellent
Yeah.
starting
So,
anime if you
you're-
like sports.
Yeah, if you're into sports or something like that. But honestly, you don't even necessarily need to be into sports to be into Haikyuu.
Yeah, that's true. I just think
But with you asking the question of like interests, yes, that would
Yeah,
make
like-
sense.
for my wife, she likes true crime. So if I got her to sit down and watch an anime as badly as I want it to be either Cyberpunk Edge Runners or Your Lie in April, the best one for her would be Death Note.
I was thinking Yu Yu Hakusho. That's
Oh my
I
god.
can't stand you.
This is why I
Well,
dip out of the
Jam.
episode. You guys can go ahead and run the
Someone
credits.
soon
and-
come get this fucking man.
put me in
Salty,
clown jail.
Salty,
Aren't two
are
of you
wanting-
motherfuckers related to this guy?
Salty, are you wanting like a actual? Ooh.
Okay, so for you, Salty, wait, someone just left the Discord.
You put him in clown jail for a
Anywho.
minute. Was it
I
So
learned
for
my
you,
lesson.
Salty, okay. For me, knowing who you are,
Yeah.
me thinking you don't watch anime,
No.
okay? I would do what Kyle said. I would look at your interests. I would also ask, what kind of TV shows do you watch?
This is for reference. I don't.
But
That's the
but I know,
problem.
but I do know some of the shows that you've mentioned before.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I personally would probably recommend, and I had it at the top of my head and now it's gone. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Shut the hell up.
I just like to ask everyone before we get off for the night.
How many
Oh,
times
it's
has that name been said in the last 5 minutes? I need to know.
I will
Oh,
put
man.
a Yu Yu Hakusho timer on
You
on
would
the
think
video.
we're sponsored.
But yeah, so the reason I say you want to get a perfect mixture of comedy, drama, and action is because usually people get drawn into action and comedy,
Right.
and then once you're drawn into there, you see a little bit of drama. That's what keeps you, you know. That's going to keep you, in my opinion, of course. So to tell you a starter anime, that's a little bit tough. I personally would recommend, I want to say Cowboy Bebop, just because it's got the drama, action, and comedy in it. Even though it's about space, I think it's more down to earth. It's not too sci-fi. For goodness sakes, you like Star Wars a lot,
Yeah.
you know? I would recommend Cowboy Bebop for you.
I feel like of all of the animes that I personally have watched, they've all been your cliched, like of course you would, like Dragon Ball. I've seen.
Shonen.
Right.
Yeah, like I've seen the shonen ones. The only one I haven't seen is One Piece, and that's because I don't ever remember it being a thing. I'm gonna be
Right.
honest. Like I just don't remember it. I remember
The
uh,
original dub screwed it over.
I remember like because like I always had friends in high school who watched them to that length. Like
Right.
what was the one? There was shit.
Say Yu Yu Hakusho, I dare you.
uh Ghost in the Shell. I had a friend who used to
Okay.
watch Ghost in the Shell, and
Right.
I never saw, and I may have seen it, at their house for 10 seconds, but like I vaguely remember all of these anime. So
Yeah.
to see what it's bloomed into is overwhelming. So I can imagine anybody without any kind of knowledge to it would feel like, well, this isn't even worth getting into. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it's almost too overwhelming.
Right. I remember what I was going to tell you also. Even though people say it's not an anime because it's technically a cartoon,
Mm-hmm.
the
Avatar.
best thing to the best thing to get people started on, and I've recommended this for people, is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I think
Great
I've
show.
told that story where my brother
Yeah.
watched the shit out of it, and I was like, "What in the fuck are you watching?" And then I
Right.
started watching, and it was like, "I know what the fuck I'm watching."
Right. So that's anime. I mean, technically it is anime.
Yeah, it's.
It's just
Yeah.
it's Western anime. It's a cartoon.
I think the last ones that I have watched have all been, well, the one's not Western because it's South Korean, but I have watched the Castlevania anime. I praise to no extent. Like
Okay.
that show is amazing, and the League of Legends show Arcane. Those are the last two.
Okay.
And if you can even consider Arcane an anime, I don't know if
Right.
you really can, but like as far as animated shows of that caliber go, those are the only
I
two
mean,
that I've watched.
it's
and-
kind of like the same thing as Avatar in a sense. I
right,
mean,
right.
I
um,
think you'd really enjoy Record of Ragnarok.
I was just telling.
Oh wow.
I was
Okay.
just
Yeah,
telling the
you
girlfriend
would.
about that because like I like that kind of. I like the mythology. Like
Yeah.
Another
think
one to
it-
get people started on is Spy Family.
No.
No. No.
he said,
Okay.
you spelled Yu Yu Hakusho wrong.
Yeah, you did. Freudian
Spy
slip there, huh?
Family it's new. It came out in 2022.
You want to know
And-
one that never fails? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Spy Family, Avatar, Cowboy Bebop. I mean, even Naruto. Just watch the original Naruto. If you're not into like ninjas and stuff like that, then.
Oh, I
Then
like
you a
ninjas.
bitch.
But I think Spy Family, Avatar: Last Airbender is a good. Spy Family would get you into like superhuman abilities, kinda in a way, and then Avatar would get you into like elemental abilities.
So here's what I think I might do. In the Discord, I might make a tab and put all of what I like to watch, and then let you guys give me recommendations, and I'll let you know when I watch them and what I think.
Deal.
So,
Fun, all right?
so Salty, coming from the view of someone who you got into a more recent game that we've all played for a little bit now,
Mm-hmm.
Elden Ring,
Mm-hmm.
I would say Rising of the Shield Hero would be a good place for you to start.
Yeah,
I was
that's a good one.
definitely molded by Elden Ring. Part of the
Because-
reason why I loved Elden Ring though is because I like that aesthetic, the gothic castles, the monsters, that
Oh, you would
look.
love
Goblin
Yu Yu
Slayer.
Hakusho.
God damn it.
You know what? You're getting raised.
For the
Wait a minute,
so-
you guys are getting paid?
Wait a minute, we got money?
I'm
I'm
just
like,
here
yes,
for kisses
that's
for
what-
Brice.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue,
Like-
Steve.
Yeah, sorry
Wait.
about that.
No, y'all are fine. That is absolutely hilarious. But because of the fact that you did get me into Elden Ring and how different the map is, along with how fantasy it is,
Mm-hmm.
Rising of the Shield Hero, especially if you're still playing Elden Ring right now, would be a very great parallel with Elden Ring, because it's still within that fantasy fighting,
It's an easy
you know. I mean, it is an isekai, yes, but it's still along his interest of the fantasy with Elden Ring, he'll get that in just an anime.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then I think that I will absolutely put a tab in the Discord when we're done here.
You know what? I think you should watch a Kame ga Kill.
I don't even know what that is.
Nah.
You should watch
Kamega-
Assassination Classroom.
Yeah, you know what? Watch Assassination Classroom.
Assassination.
Full
But,
Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I remember Full Metal Alchemist. My
I mean,
next door
that's-
neighbor growing up
I
used to watch the shit out of
I
it.
used to recommend that for people, and I stopped recommending that for people. I had a reason why, but I really can't think of.
I'm
there
trying
was
to
a reason,
think.
though.
It has enough drama.
It has all the
enough
things you said earlier.
sci-fi, magic. It pushes you to enough of a limit where if you like that, you're gonna like anime. Period. You will find other things that you like. Like that one has yet to fail me as a introduction anime.
Yeah, even if you don't like Full Metal Alchemist, you'll find out what you're looking for in an anime by
Right.
watching Full Metal
It has
Alchemist.
comedy. It has drama.
The thing that me and Kyle was doing on an old podcast way back when, we was watching the first 5 episodes.
Okay.
If you can't get pulled in by the first 5 episodes, you're probably not going to get pulled in. Now there is
That's fair.
exceptions.
I do 3.
There is exceptions. But all in all, if it takes that long to get pulled into an anime, then I mean, is the anime good?
That's fair.
I think it all depends on how it's structured. Like One Piece, that they are purposefully dragging it out and telling every minute detail, as opposed to one that's done in 12 to 24 episodes a season.
Like Dead Man Wonderland.
Bro, that's 6
Yes.
episodes with unreleased footage from when it originally aired.
I feel like sometimes that it's part of the reason why people don't like shows like One Piece. I've even heard gripes about Naruto is it's so overwhelming because it's all just filler. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it doesn't truly matter if that's not what you're after. Some people do just want a show that's one and done, you know? Like you can watch it, like you said.
Well, that's how Mark is. He's got 1,000 anime under his belt, but they're all
The
not
short
all of
burst
them,
ones,
but
yeah.
a good majority of them are one seasons, and then you start to ask him about them, and he doesn't remember too much of anything about them.
Right.
But then you start watching ones like Naruto that has such a drawn out story and that draws you in. You remember stupid stuff that here it's been over with for 10 years and we're still talking about it.
Right.
Like with Naruto, you have fillers.
Pause on that real quick, boys.
Sure.
I want to thank old Slurpee for coming in
Yes, sir.
and being on this episode. He's got to take off. He's got work to do. He's got work to do in the
Yeah,
morning.
I've been trying to hold out, but
No
Right.
worries.
Greg,
appreciate
you
you staying
hakusho
on.
shenanigans
Greg,
went
Hakusho
for a while.
shenanigans.
This has been a juicer episode, anyways. Thank you,
Yes.
Kyle, for coming back on in,
Thank you guys.
and
Yes.
I hope you have a good night.
You
Join
guys
us
do the
again.
same. Kisses to all of you and
Kisses.
kisses
Big
to
ol'
the
kiss.
fan.
Mwah!
Gobble gobble.
Mwah.
We give all of our homies kisses around here. Anyway,
That's right.
So for Naruto, you have fillers. You have filler art, which are probably one of the killers for a show like Naruto. And then you have sub character arcs for Sakura and other characters like even though they may be 6 minutes in an episode, it's still character development, which people still don't like, even if there's 4 sub character. And then just the length of the time for the MCs to get to where they're actually powerful enough to start defeating villains in their lives that have caused them harm.
alright. Well then, yeah, I'll put that tab in the fucking Discord. We'll get a group and a list going, and then every Monday I'll come back with you boys on something that I watched.
Hells yeah. You know which one you're starting with, right?
I
Actually,
swear to
what's that one?
God.
What's that one that you mentioned? The
Fairy Tale.
mythology one.
Oh,
Jujutsu Kaisen.
no, Record of Ragnarok.
Okay, because that one
Yeah.
is that one sounds interesting.
Yeah, I just got
Yeah,
into
you'd
a
like
new
that.
episode. It's oh, what the hell is his name? Raiden, the legendary sumo warrior. I think
Okay.
his name is Raiden, and he's getting ready to take on Shiva,
Okay.
the Hindu god of destruction, I believe, or death, or something like that.
It's one of those.
I don't know. My Hindu and
Spoiler.
Indian mythology isn't as
Quick,
good as my Greek.
a quick ad. Dr. Stone is a good anime to start people out on as well.
Okay.
I have forgotten about Dr. Stone.
Yeah. That's one of the ones I wanted to bring up was Dr. Stone. It's I don't even want to spoil it. Just I'm not even going to sell it to you. Just watch
How
it. Honestly.
about can we do an open poll, or is that not possible?
Like, what
We can
on
do any kind of poll.
Like
like
for
on
people to
Spotify?
recommend, yeah, on Spotify.
Yeah, maybe that can be the poll for this week on Spotify.
Yeah, what's the best starter anime?
We'll talk it
so
over.
yeah. There'll be something there.
Yeah, we'll think of
So we're
It'll be
going
anime
to
related.
we're going to wrap up this episode, this juicer of an episode.
I
It's a
got
chonky boy.
one. I got one more.
All
You
right,
got
Steve.
nothing and you'll like it. No, I'm just kidding.
I got 10 more.
All right,
Food
Steve.
Wars.
Food. No,
Ooh.
absolutely not. We
Fun
do
fact:
not.
I
No.
tried to watch that and I was like,
We
"This
do
is
Yeah.
ridiculous."
not. We do not start
If
people
you-
on Food Wars.
If you watch that, you got to have your headphones in because people will think you're watching porn from across the room.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
When I
That
lived
is-
with Kyle, I walked in the living room and I heard shit that I've never heard in my whole life. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you watching? He's like, it's a cooking anime. I was like, there is no
Cooking
way
anime.
that is a cooking
That is
anime.
What are you
not
cooking?
food, sir.
Yeah.
The first time I
Mackerel.
watched an episode of Food Wars, like I see that they're cooking these I'm like, for an anime, the food just looks so good, and I was like,
It
God
does.
dang it!
It
And
does,
it's also
dude, it
12
really
o'clock
does.
at it's
But
like
there
12
is-
o'clock at night, and I'm like, I'm about to go make a mess in my kitchen just to copy some of the
Yeah.
stuff. that
Yeah,
they're
well, they were
doing.
making messes in their kitchen.
Oh God! On that note,
Yeah, on that note, we're gonna end the episode there. Okay. That was enough there. Steve, thanks for joining this episode. I really appreciate you. I
Much
didn't know
thanks.
you was into
Or no.
anime that much, dude.
he
So-
mentioned it earlier, and I slyly was like, I mean, if you want to hang around, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't around. I was hanging with the kids, so this was a surprise for me, for Kyle and Steve to be in here. So
Right?
that was
Got
cool.
him. Got both of
Yeah.
them.
I like it.
I am not afraid anymore to say I'm a big ass nerd.
That's
Hell
good
yeah.
shit,
in
man.
the first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you being in here. Appreciate all your inputs, and yeah, that was awesome.
You ever want me, just ask.
Yeah, absolutely. I will. I'll mention it to you. Everybody, if you've made it with us this far,
Thanks.
into the episode, thank you first of all,
Agreed.
because
Yeah, big
we're
thanks.
we're going on we're almost at 2 hours now.
Jeez.
It might
yeah.
be our longest one.
This is our
God,
longest
yeah.
episode out of every podcast I've ever done. This is my longest episode.
There you go. Love
Um,
to see it.
We might do this
Time-
in a part
time
one,
flies.
part two thing.
Maybe, yeah.
We'll probably do that.
Time
Make
flies
sure
when
you
you're
rate
having
us.
fun.
Exactly. Make sure you rate us. Make sure you
Yeah.
follow us.
Subscribe
us
to
know.
the YouTube.
Subscribe to the YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel now. Our
Follow
link
us on
tree.
the Twitter.
Yeah, follow us on the Twitter. Just do all the social stuff. The Discord.
Join the Discord.
You all know the spiel.
Tell your
Yup.
friends what you saw.
Tell your friends what you saw.
Ring that
or
bell for
some-
notifications.
and- yeah. Salty's gonna find you in the streets.
Yup.
Time for Redbeard selfless plug. No.
Yeah.
Go follow our
Red-
cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right.
The Yu Yu
He's over there
Hakusho
in the
lover.
bush.
Yu Yu Hakusho lover has his own YouTube. It's Redbeard Replays. Check that
Just
out.
had to say that name one more time, didn't you?
Yeah.
It is all bootlegged episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho. No
Yeah.
gameplay at all
It
anymore.
has now popped up like 10 times in the last 10 seconds. Okay, calm down.
I'm more of a
No.
pirate than Luffy ever could be.
Lordy. All right. That wraps it up. Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.